จะมีดีจะหลายอย่างขมือมีคำทักพักแซวหัตถกรรมจะเลยลำสมเข้าเลยจะเข้าเลยละนาขมือมีหูบนาคหูบไก่มีหูบลงจะรอบไม่จะไหนลำจะเลือดสีละนาเจ้าเอ๋ย
The mountains and fertile river valleys of northern Laos have been harboring a well-kept secret. Here in remote Hua-Pan province, even before reaching the villages, one is struck by the impressive talents in handicraft, which are hewn out of nature itself. Chinese literature indicates Lao Thai peoples living along the Yangtze River migrated to Laos from southern Yunnan province in China as early as the year 700 AD. With them, they brought the rich heritage of silk producing, dyeing, and weaving. In rural Laos, especially in the north, the sound of the handloom can be heard from nearly every house in the village. The patterns are always adorned with the motifs of nature: diamonds, flowers, and mythical water dragons or nagas, central to the villagers' deep spiritual beliefs. Two centuries of occupation by the Thai, succeeded by the French, saw the national arts repressed. But the weaving tradition survived, thanks to the fact that the weavers produced for their own consumption. Since opening its doors to the outside world less than a decade ago, Laos is now hoping to reap the rewards of a market economy. But Laos, one of the poorest countries in the world, landlocked and with a weak infrastructure, holds little hope of becoming an Asian tiger like its neighbors. Instead, increasing incomes at the family level by building on solid traditions such as silk production has become a priority.
การปลูกม่อนเลี้ยงม่อนผลิตไหมอยู่แขวงหัวพันพวกข้าพเจ้าคือเป็นบุริมสิทธิ์นัมเบอร์หนึ่งที่จัดเขาอยู่ในถ่ายแห้งของแขวงหัวพันเป็นตนแม่นครอบครัวอยู่ชนบทอยากเศร้าการทางไปไทยอยากเศร้าการปลูกฟินนั่นแล้วปลูกม่อนเลี้ยงม่อนนี่มีผลดีสำหรับครอบครัวของเขาเจ้านี่แล้วเวียกงานนี่มันบ่หนักหน่วงปานใดและอันที่สองมานี่ผลผลิตใดมานี่หั่นก็สมค่าและอันที่สามมานี่เนื่องจากจุดพิเศษของแขวงหัวพันนี่เส้นทางคมนาคมนี่พวกความยุ่งยากและฉะนั้นเขาเจ้าผลิตไหมนี่การลำเลียงขนส่งนี่ง่ายได้
To generate a significant income, villagers must be able to produce quality raw silk and silk garments on a larger scale than for one's own family. This requires a number of refinements in the practice of silk production, or sericulture. To this end, Consortium in Laos launched the Lao Economic Acceleration Program for the Silk Sector, or the LEAPSS project, in 2000. It is funded by U.S. aid.
The mandate for the LEAPSS project, or the overall objective, is to improve the incomes of rural households through improvements to the sericulture enterprise, through improving quality and enhancing the quantity of silk produced by families. The LEAPSS project is working with two main groups. One is farmers or families who have a tradition of silk production and how to help them improve that output, and also with families who are starting sericulture as a new income generation activity.
For generations, families in the village of Pat Thai, such as the Singkeos, a Red Thai ethnic group, have been dividing up the daily workload. Rice growing is the focus of activity, and together with fishing and animal rearing is still the main source of income. Silk production and weaving, the women's responsibility, was once a minor sideline activity. Since the LEAPSS project started, however, things have begun to change radically. More and more mulberry trees have been planted, the leaves of which are necessary for feeding the increasing numbers of silkworms now being bred for production. Silk output in the Sinkeo family is rising dramatically.
แต่ก่อนก็แม่นปีนึงก็ยาวว่า2 โลไม่อันพื้นเมืองนี่บ่ใกล้2 โลปัจจุบันนี้แม่นปีนึงก็ฮอด4 โลไม่เลี้ยงมนอันนี้ไหลไปตลอดมันได้ฮับผม
In silk production, everything depends on providing enough food for the silkworms.
For the farmers, the first step is mulberry. So we've acquired a high-yielding, improved variety of mulberry, and we are offering that to farmers and teaching them how to propagate it, how to maintain it. Also providing some materials to provide secure fencing.
A secure fence can make all the difference in assuring that the mulberry leaves become food for silkworms and not cows and buffalo. To get the best possible growth, a strict schedule of tree propagation is followed.
จุดประสงค์ของเราในการตัดเนาะตัดกลางเพื่อเฮ็ดให้เราได้ใบหมอนขึ้นหลายๆเนาะก่อนเราจะตัดนี่เราต้องเบิ่งว่างาซุมนี้นี่ที่เราบ่ต้องการเอาเนาะเราจะตัดออกซ่อมออกหมดนี่เนาะเราจะซ่อมออกหมดเป็นบ่ตัวนี้งามันบ่ดีเราจะปะไว้กกนึงประมาณ6-8 งาเนาะให้มันได้เสมอกัน
ใบมอนตัวนี้มันอยากเกิดเป็นเพียเป็นอันนี้นะส่วนจื่อว่ามันเป็นอย่างมันจังเป็นอันนี้
เอามาสังเกตเบิ่งเนาะอันนี้มันก็เกิดเนื่องมาจากอันนี้เขาเรียกว่ามันเป็นเพียเป็นพยาธิเนาะมันก็มาเกิดจากกกมอนที่เขาบ่ได้รับการตัดแต่งอันนึงมันจะเป็นใบแก่ใบหยังแล้วอันสองมากับปริมาณน้ำฝนมันหลายเกินไปจะให้เกิดพยาธิตัวนี้เนาะแต่ว่ามันก็บ่อันตรายเท่าไหร่
In silkworm raising, cleanliness is crucial. The worms are extremely vulnerable to disease. Raising awareness about the need for care in protecting the worms from outside predators is constantly underlined. LEAPSS is now introducing rearing huts to ensure that silkworm losses are kept to a minimum. But even a simple construction, like a cement rearing hut, costs more money than most villagers could afford, at least for now. When the family's production increases and more money comes in, this will be the first investment.
The next step is support for improved reeling, and we've provided training again for that activity and also demonstrated new tools, implements that people can use to improve the quality of silk and shorten the time that it takes to reel the silk from the cocoons.
Raw silk contains a gummy resin which must be boiled off to make it soft and shiny. The fine strand is then extracted.
Because this is a stage where farmers have to take the most care and make sure they pay attention to how the silk is taken off the cocoon, and so sort of the processing steps that happen after the cocoon, those also have a very big impact on the quality and also the quantity of silk that is produced. Traditionally, silk is reeled by hand in Laos, and we have maintained that tradition, but we've been able to provide some new equipment, a simple wheel, hand-cranked wheel that increases the speed at which the cocoons are reeled and produces a much more even thread with better qualities as an end product.
Weaving silk products for sale, especially for the international market, is the real challenge. Though there is great added value here for the villagers, this is much more difficult than merely selling raw silk. A local Lao partner in the LEAPSS project, Nikon Handcrafts, has designed a model that works. The long process of reaching consistency of both pattern and sellable design, as well as replicable color through proper dyeing techniques, is something that Nikon Nanong knows well. Working with Lao silk producing villages for 25 years, she says the key is quality control.
Inside my center, we have a small workshop that I use for the training of trainers and also providing the new design and so on. And beside this workshop, we also have the dye house that we are treating the yarn and the color. Until now, we have around 150 weavers working for us around Vientiane municipality. And our system is we were organizing for each 10 house to 15 houses, and we provide one monitor. The monitor's role is to do the follow-up of the quality control, to contact the weavers and the center, and to provide the yarn, to provide the patterns, to bring back the fabric from the weavers, and to pay the weavers at home. And it is our system of the work.
Dyeing is of major importance in creating a vibrant silk industry. Natural dyes are preferred, as they are safe on both the dyer and nature. Though villagers have been dyeing silk for generations, their methods and measurements are often inaccurate. That inaccuracy in producing consistent colors will discourage potential buyers and diminish the profit of all their hard work, which may take up to 2 months for a single silk garment. To correct this, LEAPSS and Nikon work together in bringing in dyeing experts.
By not putting the pH stick completely in, then it doesn't dye, you know, the colors. And so I let it wick up, so if they could watch, I just do this. And then she'll be ready. And we'll see how the light orange changing to dark orange here?
Michelle Whipplinger from the US helps to introduce new but simple techniques, training village women to be sensitive to the color tastes of foreign buyers. Those sought-after foreign buyers want quality. Nikon runs her business from the capital and can constantly monitor production and connect to her buyers through telephone, fax, and email. The small LEAPSS team doesn't have that luxury. Here in rural Laos, where the project is involved, there are a myriad of hinders on the path to profit for these small village economies. In remote Hua-Pan province, the LEAPSS team can spend days to reach their target villages. Often the lack of communication, especially during the rainy season, can affect the timing of training and monitoring activities, many of which are crucial for a good silk production cycle for the villagers. Neighboring Seng Quang province, the home of the Plain of Jars, is also the final resting place of the grim remains of the Vietnam War. Thousands of tons of bombs rained down here in massive carpet bombings in the early 1970s. the devastating effects are still felt today. Here, the villages involved in the LEAPSS project are imperiled by UXO, or unexploded ordnance, which kill and maim scores of people every year. UXO also posed severe restrictions on opening up new areas for mulberry planting. In spite of all the difficulties, the Cow Valley village of Ban Ta can boast of success. With help from the LEAPSS project, in less than 2 years, the number of families producing silk for sale and making a sizable profit has jumped from only 5 to over 50.
แต่ก่อนอิงซื้อสภาพครอบครัวเขาชีวิตการกินอยู่นี่ถือว่ามีการทุกข์ยากขาดเขินเกี่ยวกับการใช้จ่ายและอิงซื้อเศรษฐกิจครอบครัวก็ตกต่ำนอกจากนั้นเขาก็เงินพื้นให้ลังนาเขาก็เพียงพอเขาอยากหารายได้ซื้อครอบครัวเขาติดต่อโครงการเพื่อว่าการปลูกหมอนเลี้ยงหมอนเป็นการสุขเสริญให้ครอบครัวเขาเพื่อมีชีวิตการเป็นอยู่ในการเติมใหญ่ขยายตัวเขาก็หลังจากนั้นเขาก็ได้รับโครงการแล้วเขาก็ใจใส่ในการปลูกหมอนปี 2001 มีจำนวน 2,000 ต้นคาดคะเนในปี 2002 นี้ระยะผ่านมาถือว่าได้4เซนกีบแล้วงบประมาณในขั้นต่อไปนี้เราสามารถจะให้ได้มีรายรับตึม2เซนกีบรวมเป็น6เซน
For families in Ban Ta, like Mr. Manqueos, who earn less than $150 a year, the extra money is important. It will allow them to buy school clothes and medicine. If they save, they'll be able to send a child for further education to the city. The LEAPSS project has a vision for the future, which takes in the whole Cow Valley.
Look beyond the single producer and look even beyond the village and try to develop a network of villages that can market their product collectively, and therefore they can increase their opportunity for dealing with larger markets where volume is an important factor for those buyers.
Another important aspect of the LEAPSS project is to encourage silk production among ethnic groups who don't have it as a tradition. The Hmong, the largest minority group in Laos, are traditional hemp growers and weavers. Having a rich tradition already in handicrafts, many are interested in boosting their incomes by trying sericulture.
Lusa de Santa, de Montana, de Ola, O Yang, O Mi Landau, de Yo, On Daula Mi, de Yo, Zau Kang, Yo Ola, de Tonom, de Yo Zau Kang, de Zayo Kenza.
The idea is to blend silk with traditional handicrafts, a way for Laos to develop much-needed niche products for international markets. The practice by many of the rural ethnic groups of swidden agriculture, or slash and burn, has had an extremely detrimental effect on the environment. By encouraging these mountain-dwelling villagers to seek alternative sources of income, it is hoped that this practice, as well as opium growing, could be reduced. At this point, 2 years on, the LEAPSS project is focusing on helping villagers to stand on their own. It's all about capacity building.
The LEAPSS project will not be here forever, so sustainability is very, very important. We do a lot of training. We do formal training, we do on-the-job training for district Lao Women's Union representatives, but also district agriculture and forestry officers, who are our main partners in implementing the LEAPSS project. Significantly, I think we're going to have to work on focusing on the producers themselves, so that they can have all the skills, all the techniques, and know where they can find any additional inputs that they need for improving or expanding their silk production activity. We've developed what we call district implementation teams in each of the target districts, and they've been trained and they do on-the-job training, and they're beginning to take on more and more activities of the LEAPSS project.
Ensuring that the items are quality controlled and get to a market where they'll fetch a good price is the last link and ultimate goal of the project. The shift to a new profit-making enterprise, such as silk, requires an understanding of marketing and promotion, something completely new to these villagers. An approach taken is to clearly label the item as organic, with specific information on its regional origin and the meaning of the pattern. One main advantage is that there is a huge local demand. Lao religious festivals require traditional dress. Urban women employees all wear the tube skirt or sin to work each day. Thousands of schoolgirls do the same. Hoping to grab a piece of the domestic and international market, the villagers' best products are put to the test at a trade fair once a year in the capital.
ค่อยคิดว่าผลิตภัณฑ์หัตถกรรมของคนลาวเนาะเดี๋ยวนี้เขาจะมีการพัฒนาฝีมือขึ้นแล้วก็เป็นที่ยอมรับของสาวต่างประเทศแล้วก็ทั้งคนลาวและคนต่างประเทศนำกันเนาะ
The yearly trade fair gives the villagers in the project an idea of what sells and at what price.
In the past, I went to Bangkok, Thailand. I bought Thai silk, but Lao material silk. Lao silk is even better. It's really beautiful.
Across the Mekong River in Thailand is where many say the major competition to Lao silk lies. Here, the division of labor is specialized and highly mechanized. The output is hundreds of times greater than Laos could ever hope. But it may not matter. Laos silk, say experts, is unique.
The competition, I'm not care at all, because our style of working is totally different. Because of my way is I try to show to people, especially to the market, that our identity. What is our identity? Identity from the Lao traditional pattern, Lao traditional culture, and also the Lao traditional silk. We couldn't be competitive with our neighboring country with these ideas.
Though the future looks bright, there are still many tasks ahead. Silk production groups are soon to be organized. Here, the village media centers serve to bring people together for discussions, planning, and advice. The role of women as decision makers is also being focused on.
How are decisions made in the household? How do families decide they're going to expand, they're going to increase the amount of silk they produce? How much land are they going to use for planting mulberry? How much labor are they going to devote to silk production? These factors, I think, require input of not only the male head of the household, but also the female head of the household to really see a significant impact and develop that activity.
For a poor country like Laos, with limited financing opportunities, silk development seems a perfect choice. The basic skills are there already, and there is no dependence on costly external inputs.
All the materials, all the equipment can be made locally, and I think that is appropriate for poorly developed countries such as Laos.
rounded off by a fashion show, the circle is completed. From the weathered hands of a mountain villager to the sleek cut and design worthy of any European catwalk, Laos silk continues to grow from its humble beginnings to a world-class product. Building an industry from the village up takes time. With the assistance of LEAPSS, Lao villagers have found new motivation to develop their silk market. That drive, joined with expert knowledge, modern skills, and planning with local and government counterparts, has paid off. The result is a tangible increase in village family income, more buying power, a reduction in poverty.
ขะเมยก็จังมาเมืองเล่านี่จะมีดีจะหลายอย่างขะเมยขะเมยมีคำทักมักแซวหัตถกรรมเจริญล้ำสมเขาเลยจะกล่าวลือละนาขะเมยมีผูกนาคผูกไก่มีหุบลงจะรบไม่จะไหนล้ำจะเลือดสีละนา